Hey guys, welcome to WaRpTV, where we help you get good and maybe take some scalps. Today we're bringing back our Team Wars review, starting with week 33, 2025. It's that Nicole slash Manbird Pig slash Satan slash Cows week, and I'm seeing that a lot of people are having trouble with this. So I thought, hey, it's a good week. Let's do it. And those of you guys that have been here a long while, like back in my official Red Links content creator days, we used to do these Team Wars reviews on stream, and you guys would submit your matches, and I would take a look at some W's and some L's and offer, constructive criticism slash feedback. And I would also take a look at my matches, some noteworthy matches, and just talk about why I won or lost. So let's just do that again. If you guys enjoy this concept, if you want it to stay back, leave me a comment and leave a like on the video and share with your friends. And of course, don't forget to actually submit your videos inside the Discord, which you'll find the link to in the description below. Let's get started with our first one. So here we go. This is our first match with Dead Memes. Memes is of course a base level account. It is a joke account. We are not upgrading it whatsoever, just for, the fun of it, the challenge of it. And by God, did we get one this week. So let's check this out. Our first match is a free-to-play Wales like alt account. This guy's on the #1 team of the world, so currently, I believe. And so Pirates also do I think it's a bi-weekly tournament where they do friendly fights and stuff like that. I guess they're pretty fun. But this guy, I guess, is winning a lot of them, so he's very good at base levels. And I sort of knew that in my head going into this game. And I was like, oh shit, well, I'm fucked. I'm not very good at friendly fights, but hey, it is what it is. Just take our L with pride, and there it is. So we started up here. Dead regards. Trying to live up to the name. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Now if you guys saw the choices breakdown earlier in the week, you know why we chose some of these. We were talking about taking into consideration the league, your skill, your overall team skill, and then the levels of your team. So you'll notice that this team actually went Manbird Pig and not Satan. That's because Satan is a pretty relatively late unlock, so chances are that most of your team is going to have a higher Manbird Pig than a Satan, right? So that's what they did for this beginner slash any level team, and we just got to work with that, right? So here we go. Now here, the starting hand, it's pretty good, customary GG back. This is what I was talking about in the breakdown video. If you can get Mysterion out like in the first 45 seconds, you're gonna be good. Chances are he's gonna get that value over time, right? Over the game's span, the match's span. So if we're able to get that out, yeah, let's do that, right? So it opens with Belf. He's pretty much gonna get that he's gonna get that eaten. So now we want to also slow down, right? Now here is one of the most pivotal choices that I make. Here we have a PST. He tries to guard his Belf, naturally. This is a high damage, high cost unit. So this is a little bit of a risky play. Let's see what I end up doing here. Yeah, pretty natural to try this instead, right? So a couple of things here. We want to take care of the damage. Now, range is usually just damage output, so you want to try and take that out, especially if you have what's called positional advantage. That just means that you're on your side of the field and you can direct damage more efficiently and appropriately based on what's happening on the field, right? So we also know, so we're gonna peck that Belf, right? But we also know, as you just saw, that Swordsman Garrison has this damage cone And naturally, you're just gonna put that Butters behind Garrison, right? To just, you know, not get hit in that. So we're gonna peck him from behind, giggity, and move on. So we got all this damage. We're looking good. We're sitting at 3 energy. He plays BHK and cows. One thing to note there: base level arrows, base level BHK. We talked about what kills what in our TVT choices breakdown earlier in the week. So that's one of those things that you just kind of have to know. And I actually didn't for base levels. I didn't think. Well, I guess I kind of knew, but I thought that there might have been a chance that arrows don't kill that base level BHK because these are all super weak, and I'm just not used to friendly fights as much as I used to. But I talked about arrows 5, for example, killing up to an M5 or a max level 5 BHK, and that's something you definitely need to do. So he ends up getting 1 stack on those cows, and even 1 stack on cows can be very dangerous this week, guys. So let's see what happens. So we save ourselves a little bit of trample damage because of the Paladin shield. Mysterion's pecking as well. Now these are base level cows, so they take half a bar. If they were level 6s or 7s, they probably would have taken 2 bars there, with 1, maybe 2 stacks. So here, we're trying to get him to play, and we do get him to play. We got him to play the Nelly. He probably doesn't have Satan either, because that team is thinking the same thing that we thought about, which was Satan's like a kind of a late unlock, so chances are people have Satan low level or not even unlocked yet, right? So we kind of sort of know he probably doesn't have Satan. So we throw the cows. We want him to play. We want him to do something. We're sitting on 2 energy after that play. He plays Nelly mid. Take a little damage. We're pecking new kid. 3 cows on it. He's not killing. He already wasted 4 energy over here with Nelly, right? So now he puts out the the rats. The rats aren't going to do enough damage there, so they take the bar. And here, we always have to slow ourselves down, guys, because we're at our pivotal 5 energy. We don't have a lot of moves here. We have a range coming. We have rats coming. We got a pretty good base unit in Nelly coming as well. So we have to make sure that we don't, you know, let our new kid also get hit with the AoE attack that she has, the AoE spin. So we have to consider, and you'll see me consider exactly where I want to put that slave, but it does need to it does need to not give me damage. So there can't be a positioning mistake here whatsoever. Thinking further ahead, you have to think about that pirate ship Timmy as well, because he is going to be able to throw that cannon and do AoE damage on our new kid as well. So you got to think a little further than even the first 2 units coming in, which is Nelly and the rats. So let's see what we do here. So we did it right. We want to get those rats off of slave. Kill them instantly like we talked about in the choices breakdown. Pirate ship gets that blast. Isaac gets this 5-cost tank up front. Pretty good, but we're at mid now. So with that being said, this puts him very close to mid, and he's going to end up on our side of the field yet again. Now it doesn't look good for us here, right? 4 energy, no tank. I mean, look at our hand. There isn't very many things we can do here, so we have to think. We have to think pretty clearly, right? But that doesn't mean we should panic, right? Let's slow ourselves down. Let's take a second in the moment and visualize what can I possibly do here to mitigate the circumstances. We have half a bar left. We have a relatively full push coming towards us, and only Belf protecting. So we withstand. So here's the thing that I did here. Let's come back just a little bit so I can break this down, because it it involves a couple steps that you as a beginner may miss. So let's look at that Belf, and then let's look at the Paladin that we end up playing, right? So let's run it. So what I need to do is time this out to where the pirate ship is going to hit my Paladin, but I also have to do it precise enough to where the Belf is going to be hitting my Belf, right? So there's some connectivity, there's some syncing that I have to do, like, you know, some if-then statements before I ever move on. So check that out in real time. She gets it, and Paladin is pecking. Now, we gave ourselves a little bit of time to get the 5 energy required for Garrison. So what do we do again? We remember that range is something we should take care of first. We don't go for tanks, we go for their support before we go for the tank, because the support is usually the thing that makes or breaks a push. So let's break down the push rather than the health. So let's kill that Belf first. Target the Belf. We were just a little late because that Belf already had some stacks from earlier, so that was to his advantage. Here, he plays BHK, so we're forced to use arrows. He's gonna get the bar, right? He's gonna get it. We're kind of screwed here. And this play right here from me is me just thinking that, or being used to higher levels. So I thought, ugh, those might stay alive. I'm gonna need the cows. I'm gonna need to drop the cows anyway. And that wasn't the case, but thankfully we didn't need to save that energy, because we're pretty much toe for toe at this point, right? So here goes the cows. I got Mysterion coming up. We're on 2 energy here. What's he gonna do? Also plays cows. Now this is a really good situation for cows. So keep in mind, cows and buffs, really good. Just right in the middle. It causes your BHK to not move. This is a really good play usually, but let's see what happens. He had the arrow, bro. He had the arrow damage. So we're gonna have to break this down. Here you see me second guess the Paladin play, and that's because experienced players will know that if you try to interrupt cows in between your new kid and the cow attack, they start to attack faster for some reason. Now, I don't think that was an intended thing by the devs, but it is something that happens, and it's something that we have to take account of. Now, I second guess that, but I also see that the rats are coming. So what do we have in hand? We slowed down enough to understand what we had in our hand to best have a more efficient play. So with Super Fart, we're gonna kill the rats, and then we also stun the cows out for like one, it was like a half second or something. It's significant at these levels. So let's see what happens here. There you go. So we got 1 cow left, we got one rat, and we get that done. We got 10 seconds, 67 health to 158. Out comes the Nelly. We get a shield. We get Mysterion value yet again, right? Remember we're talking Mysterion value early in game, play it. So that Mysterion is probably plus energy on us, right? At this point, because that Nelly costed 4 energy and he almost wiped her, right? So we're probably sitting on 3 plus 3, maybe plus 4 energy value on that Mysterion, because we started it pretty early, right? So here we are. This situation is a risky play, because I recognize that it's a race to cows. It's going to be a race to cows because it is a cow fast-paced week. So what do? I want to make sure that I freak him out a bit, enough to where he does something he was not planning on doing. So I say, screw it, let's throw Swordsman Garrison top mid, and I want to try and disrupt his plan, because if he gets a plan in, I'm screwed. I have 67 health. All he has to do is play some cows and I'm done. So let's see what happens. All right, so he plays the PST. We got some stacks on Garrison. We got the damage cone. We take out the PST. We're on it. We're on it. We play cows. He plays arrows. Garrison takes it with the final hit. And of course, we GG out. Very well played to the bro. It was anyone's game, I think. But I think the biggest difference here was that very final play. That very, very final play. And that was to disrupt your opponent's plan. I very much doubt he wanted to play back there when most of his push was already at mid. And he needed to support mid. So I made sure to split his attention, or split lanes. That's a concept you maybe have heard before. Splitting lanes to divert attention, to divert resources. And Swordsman is not something you can leave alone because of all of the damage that he has in that cone. So there it is. It was just enough to get the job done. GG's to Isaac. And I guess till next time, bro. Okay. So back in the other Team Wars reviews, like I said, we would get people's submissions. So we have a couple. We have a couple here. This one's from Dead Regards as well. This is a beginner player, so we can't be too judgmental here. We were all at that point, right? So we're gonna see. He wanted help understanding what he did wrong in this L, right? So let's talk about this. And I think his name is Darth Snappy. So let's actually take the volume down. So Darth Snappy with our beginner bros, Dead Regards versus Chrome Silverado, Canadian Puberty. Wow. That means he's horny, I think, based on the South Park episode. So here we go, bro. Right off the bat, just from the previous game, we kind of know what the right call is, right, guys? It's going to be Mysterion, just based on what the opponent does. Now, that may not be correct based on the opponent, but usually it's going to be Mysterion, right? Because you want to get that cycle out, and you want to make sure that you have 11 cards in your deck and not 12 on a cow week, so you can get back to cows quicker. But he unfortunately plays Swordsman for no real reason. Now, beginners may understand this. So these guys both make a beginner mistake. You start up with Swordsman when you had a much better play in your hand. And then the opponent starts off with what's going to be Coop. Yeah. So Coop, a lot to say here. So Coop is just going to send out cocks every second or so, or whatever, 3 seconds, whatever it is. And what that does is it makes your opponent be able to build a push when they know what they're doing a little bit, right? Now, if the opponent had opened Coop and you had opened Belf, that would have been really good for you, but you didn't even have it, right? So Mysterion dies, he gets a few hits, and you actually play, you know, something range, right? Like Pirate Ship Timmy, and you stay on your side of the field. So if you played something that's lighter damage, that you can just peck those cocks, Giri, you stay on your side of the field, because we were talking about positional advantage, right? In the other match. So we want to stay on our side of the field. We don't want to fight on the opponent's side, because that gives them the placement and positional advantage. So this is already 50-50, because he also made a really big mistake with Coop. So let's see what's up. Okay, so BHK, at this point, you're forced, like, you're basically forced to double down on this push, right? So we're getting pecked by New Kid. We have range. I do like that you waited for the slave to get to the threshold and then you hit the charge. That broke the slave, so that was really good. But now you're going to lose an extremely valuable unit here in a second, you're gonna lose BHK, and you're gonna have a massive push coming, right? You're at 9 energy, so let's see what you decide to do next. So there you go, Garrison's gone. You got a huge cock load coming in. So Fart is not really a good play here because you want to have DPS, that's continuous damage, right? So I would have played Pirate Ship Timmy like actually well before you were at that point, because you wanted to charge that cannonball, right? So the cannonball has AoE, which would have killed all of those cocks instantly, and not to mention with BHK's attacks you would have gotten some buffs on your pirate ship while he was charging, right? So here we are again. You do finally play it, but unfortunately you play it right up on the damage. So pirate ship has one of the longest ranges in the game, so you should really try to utilize that. You don't want to ever play a range unit right into damage, because you're just plain old not going to get any value for that, and they're going to overwhelm you with damage. So we're going to watch that happen here. So there's all those cocks. There you go. It's about half. It's about half. Now you were basically forced to play those arrows in an unopportune time, but then again, and you saved the pirate ship temporarily, and all you managed to do was what? Kill all the cocks? Well, yeah, there you go. So he plays rats. He's buffing his Nicole, and you are about to lose this pirate ship, right? Yeah, and you do get that blast off. They take the bar, you get a buff, you get a Belf buff, that's good. But now that Belf is unsupported, and she's an S tier unit you're also about to lose. So now here, I'm not sure if that was an accident or not, or maybe you don't know what AQR does, but I mean, I guess that's just chalked down to experience, right? So AQR is going to any enemy unit on the field, she's going to poison gradually. But even if you knew that, I think experienced players know that this is a very rare play to begin with, even in this TVT, because that poison takes way too long to kill something, and 5 energy is a lot. So let's just say that you got all the value in the world with that play, and there was like a lot of chickens out or a lot of rats. It might have taken, I don't know, 30 seconds, 20, 30 seconds to kill the cocks. Let's see how much value you get without it though. So that's 1 peck from Belf. There goes Mysterion. Now you don't have the energy to defend because you used 5 energy on AQR, or Alien Queen Red there, and you didn't get any value. So you're sitting 3 energy, you're about to get hit. And here is your value from AQR. That's 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 3 hits from New Kid. Now here's your base level cows coming in. Let's see what you can do with those. You do get the bar at that point. And see, this is another just kind of like beginner play where he damages his own catapult Timmy. So he does stop your cows. It's you know, it's a 1-1 bar at this point. You're at 4 energy. You might think this is looking good, but man, you don't have Mysterion coming back, and his is coming back. You see that in the mid? So you are so down on energy, it's crazy. So what do we do here? Let's see what you decide. Now, Man Bear Pig would have been a pretty okay choice actually, because Man Bear Pig base unit is better than Satan base unit. The only problem is that you played him right at mid, so you have, how are you going to reach that Timmy? You stop that Timmy from moving, right? You don't want to do that. Like, you want to make sure that you're like, any move that you make is not doing stuff like that, because you want your opponent to keep moving towards you. So if that's, so what you would want to do is, if you did want to play Man Bear Pig here, you play him behind New Kid and have him walk. That way, your Manbear Pig sort of ends up about where my mouse is, about here. And Satan starts attacking Manbear Pig. You stop the damage from your New Kid. And that Timmy is about right here rather than over here. Now, how unreachable is this Timmy versus, you know, this Timmy position versus the Timmy position here? Pretty close, right? A lot better to reach. Instead, you kept him on his side of the field with 7 of your energy, bro. This is bad. This is real bad. I can tell you how it's gonna go here in a second. So Mysterion's on the way back. He's gonna get probably a good few pecks on you, and he is definitely up on energy. When you had 2 energy or 3, he played 5 energy, so you're definitely behind. That's about where how you should look at things. If he just played 5 energy and I'm at 3 and I can play BHK, well, I was behind too, at least, right? Because he's also making mistakes. So now how do you stop these cows now? You're at 0 energy. You didn't save. Now the BHK is good normally. You're in a good position. But then you also like in this situation, let me see what you had in your hand exactly. Because the fart, I don't know if the fart was very good here. Yeah, I can see why you did it. That wasn't terrible, but they still get the bar. You see what I mean? Now, he does do a pretty decent AQR. I don't know if that was intended, but he does do a pretty decent one. And he is reaching your BHK rather than using arrows. So he is gonna kill your BHK there. Now this Timmy, you're probably, I mean, you're probably panicked and you're probably feeling like you need to play this Timmy close to New Kid. But look at how long after you played it, he played a unit. This could have been a cheap unit or an expensive unit like Slave, but look at how long it took for him to have something on your range. Range is extremely valuable because that's most of your damage most of the time. So you want to keep them tucked behind and protected. So there you go. We're still sort of behind on energy. You're forced to sort of block with your S tier unit, right? Your Belf. Now you get away with this, right? Yeah, you do. So you do get away with this because at these levels, that Mysterion hit isn't too crazy. But trust me, if that Mysterion was any stronger, he would have just killed your Belf and then taken the bar probably, right? Maybe half a bar, depending. So here you have a really, kind of a crazy push coming at you again. We got cows. Do you have the time? It's 7 seconds. Do you have the time? And you're down a bar here. And you didn't. You just plain old didn't have the time to get there. So a lot of little things, like I said in the Discord, bro, that add up to handing the L. So hopefully this helped you out, and I can tell, bro, just by you uploading the matches and asking for help, that you are going to be a good player and you're going to take lessons, and this is going to be helpful for you. But if you need any other feedback, if you need a better way for me to explain things to you, let me know. And yeah, so I think that was it. Because this video, I think this video is almost 30 minutes, so we're gonna cut it off there. All right, boys. So for the rest of you, same thing. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know how I can make these better, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.